Hi everybody, we're Mike and Brenda Baker, and we are doing video 5 of 7, excuse me, on the topic of 7 emotional issues that women deal with in remarriage. And the title of today's video is When Your Husband is Paying Too Much Child Support. So I guess the biggest thing that we want to start out with is we're not lawyers, so this is not giving you any sort of legal advice. It's just something that we've seen that comes up a lot when women are upset because their husband is paying so much in child support. You want to jump in?
So child support, I've got a lot of things I could say about it, but the one thing I want to remind you of is child support's like taxes. It's just got to be paid. You can't get around it. It doesn't matter if it's unfair. Taxes are unfair. I don't think I've ever heard. No, I take that back. I knew one guy ever who said, "I'm happy to pay my child support." Okay, and it was because in that particular case, he felt that his ex was actually using it to take care of the kids. But most of the time, it's and it's like, nope, it's like taxes. You just got to treat it that way. And then it helps it just kind of flow through your mind as just another bill. Exactly.
So it's really important to us to impart to you that it doesn't matter what you think. Child support sometimes is more like alimony. It's spent in all the wrong situations. And then there's all these other needs that the bio mom wants or whatever. But the point is that if it's court ordered, you have to pay it. Doesn't matter if you agree, doesn't matter how much they make. In our situation, his ex-wife always had a live-in boyfriend, or she always lived with someone.
Yeah.
So she never had any, expenses outside of her play money. She worked a full-time job, and, there was no reason that we should have had to pay so much, but we did.
But it
didn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
All right, so point number 2 is don't hold it against your husband.
So, all right, look, you're here because you're remarried, all right? He's paying child support. That's the way it is. Like we said, it's like taxes, but a lot of times women will get mad at the husband because they see it as an expense that's their fault. Now, to a degree, you're correct.
Yeah.
Okay? I will be the first one to admit that a lot of the hassles when it comes right down to it, had he not married her, this would not be. But had he not married her, he probably wouldn't have married you because he wouldn't have come around to that position, okay? So keep in mind, it's not his fault per se, all right? It's just an unfortunate byproduct of an unfortunate relationship.
And I would say that it's not his fault anymore. He made a bad choice. Maybe he was young. Maybe he didn't see some things, whatever the case may be. For me, it would have been very easy for me to get upset with Mike because there were, how many times? 2 times or 3 that child support enforcement took half of our money out of our account. Didn't even tell us, just took it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even, and then we had to try to prove that we weren't not paying, or that we were paying child support when his ex-wife had said that we weren't paying it.
Which brings us right into number 3.
Exactly. So, it's important to make sure that you let those things go. Don't let them become a problem in your marriage. No. Just move forward.
Right.
So point number 3 is cross your T's and dot those I's.
So when you're paying child support, I would highly suggest, no matter how good the relationship is, never just cut the ex a check. All right? Now you may think, well, the check is recorded, so I can go to the bank.
No.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, yes, you're absolutely correct. However, if there is an office in your state that handles child support payments, take it through that office. Because the second your ex or his ex comes back and says something wasn't paid, child support enforcement, which is what it is here in our state, they will actually, if you've been paying through them, they'll actually look and go, that's not true. Okay, however, if I was cutting checks like I was at one point, now the state not only comes after me, they take half of my bank account, take half of every check I make. All she had to do was say, she didn't have to prove it, she just said, hey, he owes this. They automatically came after me, and we had to go to the bank. We had to produce all the records, and I hate to inform you that I saw none of that money back.
Exactly. We got a credit, but we certainly didn't ever get that money back.
It was not a credit for all of the money either.
No. And so it's so important to have your paperwork together.
Mm-hmm. Protect yourself is really the biggest thing.
Yeah, always have a third party that can verify that you are paying whatever it is that you are supposed to pay according to the divorce decree. When it comes to these extra expenses that sometimes are in divorce decrees, we like to encourage people to go through some sort of a company that you have to pay a little bit more to note those things, because typically, we don't know about your state, but typically the states only handle the actual child support. They don't handle all these extra expenses that sometimes are in the divorce decree, such as college expenses, extracurricular activities,
sports,
any of that,
medical,
right? What isn't paid by the insurance, stuff like that, And so if you have to split those 50-50 when it comes to the divorce decree, make sure that's documented by somebody other than just you. Can't be your mom, it needs to be a company that actually does that, right?
Yeah.
Because that way, when it goes to court, if it does, you've got actual proof from another company that can say, this is what I paid, this is what the divorce decree said, this was the total bill, blah, 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 right?
You could even, in a worst case scenario, you could even hire a bookkeeper who will only handle those things for you. And that way, it's a third party. They're recording it. They're the ones paying it out of an account. You could set up a special account. That's where that money goes. And they're the ones cutting it out. Although you'll still have to come back to them saying, I need those records. At least it's a verified place that's not a bank. It's somebody who witnessed.
Right. It's just to help you to not have these disagreements, because really it takes years off of your life. Every time you fight with that ex, every time you stress out over half your bank account being taken when you didn't plan on it. Mm-hmm. People, please just take care of yourself and make sure that you're not allowing these things to put you in reaction mode, because what happens when you're in reaction?
You do stupid things.
Yeah.
You say stupid things, and then things just get worse.
Right. And so we really would like to see you be able to have the best experience that you can. This is not an ideal situation for anyone involved when it comes to a remarriage. When you've got kids going here and kids going there and whatnot, that's hard. But it can be done in a way that you and your husband can still, thrive as a couple. And that is if we had one goal, that's probably our biggest goal for you, is to impart our wisdom that we've learned so that you and your spouse can thrive to the best of your ability and just stay together and be happy for the rest of your time here, because life's too short for all this fighting, right? All right, well, we thank you so very much for being here today, and we hope that this episode on when your husband is paying too much child support helped you. We hope that you learned something out of this. Another thing that I think that we didn't touch on, we probably should right quick, is know what your divorce decree says, but also know what's legal in your state. So, because varies from state to state.
Yes, absolutely. If you're unsure, just contact a divorce lawyer and ask them where you would look.
Right.
And that doesn't cost you anything.
No.
Okay. Typically, they tell you, just go to the site. Actually, the receptionist should be able to tell you most of the time.
Right. So just know your rights.
Yeah.
All right. So anyways, thank you so very much for being here today, and we just hope that this helped you. Leave us a comment, share this episode, be a subscriber. We love to help you. So we'll see you again on the next lesson. Bye.